Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Ra'aya, back with another one. And yeah, y'all, as the caption says, Trump DJT announces ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, right? It says Israel and Lebanon reached 10-day ceasefire deal, which I don't believe, and neither should you. Neither should y'all believe this, because whenever they're talking about peace, whenever they're even coming with agreements, see, you got to understand Trump just that announced Esau Edom every time he comes and he says that he wants to make a agreement of peace or any of that, he literally goes back on right after he did made the agreement. He goes right back on it and he does some wickedness, just like how they did this last so-called peace agreement with Iran and Babylon the Great in Israel, right? How they were going for a peace agreement, right? Not even 24 hours later, um, the Israelis start bombing Lebanon again, start bombing them, right? And they're like, what in the hell? We just made a peace agreement, right? So this is Psalms 55 and verse 19. Yahweh shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not Yahweh. Verse 20, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant, because every time Esau Edom goes to shake the hand of somebody and make an agreement and all of that, he goes right behind it and breaks it, and he does it wickedly. He look at how he comes to the peace agreement is through his lies, right? He'll lie straight to the person's face, got them thinking that, yeah, all right, we gonna chill out and all that, and then next thing you know, he hitting you with all types of bombs. He stabbing you in your back. He doing all types of shit, right? So this is verse 21. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, like, because he's gonna tell you some things that's smooth, that sound good, that appeal to you and all that, right? But war was in his heart, right? And he only saying it to you just to throw you off from what he's about to do to you. And it says his words were softer than oil, right? Yet were they drawn swords, right? So he'll say something that's smooth, like, yeah, we're gonna go with peace and we're gonna do all that, right? Then the next thing you know, you're getting bombed by him. So these other countries is catching on to this man, and they're like, "What? How dare we sit up here and make peace with these people, right?" And then on top of it, how do they think this is going to go down, right? They said Israel and Lebanon reached a 10-day ceasefire, right? Now, Iran is looking at that. Look, it's not like nobody is looking at what the Israelis and what Babylon the Great have been doing, these Amalekites and these, other Edomites have been doing. We can clearly see their hand. Everybody can see their chess moves. So it's like when they're saying that they're reaching a 10-day ceasefire, they're not actually reaching anything. They're stalling. They're stalling, and they making the American public go to sleep, right? And then truly, by them making people think that there's going to be peace and all that, then all of a sudden destruction start coming, right? So we're going to get 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2, or verse 3. While people are saying, matter of fact, this is not the King James version. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, right? Because every time they say peace, we're gonna have peace, we're gonna have safety, all that shit DJT is saying, It never works out, y'all. So I'm gonna play this video. This is a non-monetized video. I'm not getting paid for this. Fair use, fair use. All right.
A ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. He did so on Truth Social. And the president said the leaders of both nations agreed to a 10-day ceasefire starting at 5 p.m. Eastern today. If it holds, and that's a big...
So why would they make a peace? Look, the Israelis, and I'm calling them that for a reason. The Israelis was a part of the peace deal with Iran. And you see how that went. They ended up starting bombing Lebanon. Why would Lebanon even come to you know what I mean? They doing all this smoke and mirrors for y'all to be confused about what's happening. And then look, in the next day or so, next couple of days, we're gonna hear something else didn't happen, which is gonna cause for the peace treaty, the peace deal to not go through.
If it could lead to a broader peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. He also says he'll be inviting the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Lebanese President Joseph Aoun to the White House. I want to get straight to CNN international diplomatic editor Nick Robertson, who is in Islamabad, Pakistan.
And then look, he had to be a damn fool to come over here to the leader of Lebanon. He had to be a damn fool after seeing what DJT has done by stealing the president of Venezuela. He would have to be a damn fool to come over here to Babylon the Great with Netanyahu, the person who's leading the battle that you're having war with, along with their ally Babylon the Great, aka America. He would have to be a damn fool to come here and come to the White House. Ain't no telling if he gonna make it back.
Nick, what does this say to you?
Yeah, it says a number of things. Of course, the Pakistani lead negotiators, the most powerful politician in the country, Field Marshal Asim Munir and the Interior Minister, have been in Tehran over 24 hours now, meeting with top Iranian negotiators. We don't know how those talks have been going, but we absolutely know that Iran had explicitly said it wanted a Lebanon ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah to be in place and part of the bigger ceasefire picture. So what...
And you notice how DJT is acclimating to what Iran's wishes are so that Strait of Hormuz is opened up. But out of the other side of his mouth, he's saying, fuck them. We don't need their oil. We don't need it. We have our own oil. We have the biggest oil here in America, and all this stupid shit he been saying, right? Notice how he just keeps switching up. Like, this man is a liar and the truth ain't in him. These people, these Edomites, you cannot trust. And the world is seeing this now. The world, they're being revealed. These people are the people of destruction, right? This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. Who is this man of sin? It's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the son of perdition. Perdition meaning destruction, right? Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. This man needs to be taken out of this thing. Right? And this verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Because Esau Edom does the work of Satan. He's the physical carnation of the spiritual demon Satan. Right? He says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? This is how he gets his his whole ideologies and ways of life he gets across by doing all this, by deceiving people, lying, doing all this shit, right? The whole thing of what he's doing right now is based on deceit, right? Well, how dare you trust these Amalekites to and these other Edomites to come on over here to Babylon the Great just so you can get fucked up? Like, what? I wouldn't dare trust these people. These people just bombed you, bombed schools in your land, did all types of shit, killing people innocently, hitting them with weapons that shouldn't even be used, right? War crimes. These people have been doing war crimes, all this shit towards y'all, right? And y'all had a nerve to sit up here and still be, you know what I mean, going to meet with them. That don't even sound right. So when you hear this shit coming from these Edomites' mouth, don't believe it, right? So on another note, though, I got a couple of other videos like this, and when I seen it, I was like, "Oh snap!" I'm like, "Oh, Jake is through." All right, it's gonna be a multi-topic video. We're gonna fast forward it, but look at this, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Hold on. And look, you know, they fashioned this after Jake. The build of this, the figure, how it looks. This look like Jake, right? This don't look like an Edomite build. It's got a Jake's figure to it, body figure, right? And so let me fast forward it. He's shooting free throws. And I just wanted to show you this, right? Because oh, look at this number 144 right here, y'all. Y'all caught it. But look, I just wanted to show you this though. Like Jake is gonna have a hard time in Jacob's trouble, right? 2/3 of Jake gonna be fucked up in this time we coming in. Cause look, if they got this right, this thing rolling on wheels, right? Imagine them strapping a gun to this and him skating through the streets. These things are going to be skating through the streets. And we don't know how fast this thing can go. This thing could possibly go 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. Yeah. And look at the accuracy, right? He bopped that bit right in that hoop, right? Look at the accuracy of this thing. And look, he can measure where this rim is and do all the stuff that Jake can do. But Jake can do it, and you know, they never gonna be as good as what the Heavenly Father made. But the fact that they can do this should be alarming to most people because you have to have a good measuring, you know, of distance and of strength to place that ball into that hoop accurately without hitting the backboard as well, right? So if it can do this, definitely it can bop a Jake 30, 40 yards away from it with a rifle or with a machine gun, right? A Smith and Wesson, right? Pistol. So I wanted to show y'all this and how it moves. Matter of fact, let me get to it. Yeah, like this. Imagine trying to get away from this thing. Look how it's about to duck down. Look how it's about to duck down like this, right? This is some straight out of Terminator type shit, right? You know how they was running away from the robots and stuff in Terminator, and they would be in a vehicle and the robot is going up under the cars. This is what that came to mind when I first seen this. I was like, oh hell no. I'm like, that thing could get low like that. I'm like, it's a wrap. Jake This thing can jump too. This thing got springs, everything.